Hello, everybody. We'll get started here shortly. About 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. We'll get started here in just a few minutes.
Did ready to get started? Where's my chat? Can't see my chat. Got my assistant right here next to me. He's helping me out with my chat. Can everyone hear me? All right. I see some familiar faces out there. Thank you for joining us on Black Friday. Why aren't you all out shopping? No shopping? We're pretty slow down at Brown Bear today. I would have thought we have some really great sales going on in the gun shop today, and we're really slow. So I don't know what that bodes for us moving forward, because you need more classes for more money. I hear it. Boy, this economy is just not my favorite. This is not my favorite economy that we've ever been through. So let's see here. Working on a new classroom. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I wanted to make sure everyone had a chance to log in. We still have a couple minutes before we're officially started. I just wanted to get on and thank you all for taking time to join us today. How many of you have been on for previous webinars that we've done? We've done them on just basically my little history of being in trouble with Mark Zuckerberg. We've done how to get on Google and get yourself positioned on Google. We have said the wife, so you don't have to deal with people. That's a great idea. Although in Jim's case, he doesn't have that much bail money. So he's got me here, if you've noticed, online doing a webinar instead of out shopping. So he's a wise man. Yeah, this economy has been really, really tough for all of us instructors out there. I know that the Detroit market has been particularly hard hit just because we're automotive driven. Everything in this town is automotive driven. And when the sales of vehicles and stuff like that slow down because they can't get parts and they can't get electronic components and things like that, it's just a complete trickle down effect here in Metro Detroit. So it can be a little hard. I suspect other markets are having difficulties as well. I speak to a lot of instructors throughout the course of the week, just trying to help out. And we have those instructors that are dealing with their state having gone with constitutional carry and trying to get students that they would have normally had for concealed carry classes, trying to convert people back through the door for additional training. I know when Michigan was looking at going to constitutional carry some years ago, I was in conversation with my senator and my Congress people, and they were of the opinion that changing the state to constitutional carry would be a boon for CPL instructors, not from the sense that we would be teaching CPL classes, but training in general. And I don't know if anyone on the call here has had that experience or not. Based on the trajectory of Michigan and its political stance, I don't see us going constitutional carry at all. So yeah. So Terry, as far as finding a classroom that doesn't cost a lot at all, I would reach out. I know a lot of people say, oh, FOP halls or hotels usually have conference rooms, but that will often cost you an awful lot of money. The USCCA has a real estate agent safety program. I think it's 55 minutes of training for real estate agents. I think it's 55 minutes because I drag it out to 2 hours, but according to the USCCA, it's 55 minutes. And that would be a great way. Maybe you could barter with a local real estate agency. I know that most larger real estate offices have a conference room that they use. Maybe you can offer to train their real estate agents using the real estate agent safety program. in exchange for use of a conference room. Check with local churches. A lot of local churches have congregation areas that they're willing to let you use. A couple years back, our old facility was undergoing some renovations, and I met up with a local church, offered to do a bunch of free training for them in exchange for use of their facilities, and it worked out really well for us. My landlord had come at me. It was June, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, and typically June, July, August here in Michigan is a really slow time for CPL instructors, just because it's camping season and we're right here on the lake, so it's boating season, and it's traditionally really slow, but we didn't slow down those years. And so we kept on going at our current pace. So I had to find some place. And I leaned on a local church here in the area, provided them with a bunch of free training for their parishioners, and it worked out really well for us. What do we got here? Locked in is the, I don't get it. So. All right. I'm reading notes that don't pertain to me. James, did you greet your people? Did you say hi to everybody so that we can get started? This is Jim Hankins. He's my husband and the curator of chaos for everything we do here. This was all his idea. So are we ready to get this program started?
I think we're ready. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's 1:03. Let's get started. So let's talk about some of the things that we have here. We're going to talk about Facebook advertising. Does anyone on the call currently advertise on Facebook for any of their class offerings? Gotcha. So I see a lot of you are doing it. Are you doing it yourself, or have you hired a digital marketing agency to do it for you? Okay, great. Have you had much success with it at all? Some success. My hardest part with dealing with Facebook was the some success, not much. They're hard to measure. Facebook traditionally is kind of hard to measure how people are coming to you. And they make it really difficult for people in our industry. I have multiple times in the past found myself locked out of Facebook because one, my sense of humor, some of the memes that I've put up, but also when Facebook has their algorithms and stuff like that. And if they see an ad, depending on where you are in their "this is a bad child" chart, they may leave you alone. Or in my case, where I've been smacked on the hand continually for the last 10 years, they look at what I post. And if I have a gun or any kind of image that they think is threatening to the general public, I tend to get shut down. So one of the most important things to understand with Facebook is what their advertising standards are. And for us as CPL instructors, we fall into a category that kind of walks a fine line for us. They've got policies and principles. They want to make sure that we're not doing anything unsafe, that we're not doing frauds and scams. Jim just had an ad that he ran for Cloud Bedrock. And it's funny because just the verbiage that you use, and he used the words, get more clients. Facebook immediately flagged him, shut him down, turned him off because they felt like he was a fraud or a scam because he's making promises to people that he can't guarantee. And so we have to be careful on the words that we use. They want to make sure that people are having a positive user experience and that we are promoting transparency, whatever that means in today's political climate. But we want to make sure that when we're putting our ads out there, we're not offending people and that people aren't worried about what it is we're looking to offer. They are very strict on enforcing their policies. A lot of times I'll see people with ads out there that just really totally fly under the radar. I sometimes question how people got their ads out there. It just means that they haven't been tagged and put on the list of people that they're going to continually monitor really closely. I know that a lot of what they do is done electronically as far as when they're parsing the ads and looking for special words that you might be using. But if somebody sees your Facebook ad and deems it that it's in violation, and that person may even be a disingenuous person. It could be a person who is a competitor in the local market and decides that they want to flag you as a violation of policy. Just know that you are going to go through an ad review process with Facebook. Me personally, I've been through multiple ad review processes with Facebook. And I can tell you, just because we post ads with firearms and stuff like that in them, the last thing you want to do is get confrontational with the Facebook folk. For me, that was really difficult because I'm not saying I'm confrontational, but I have a bit of a mouth. So when I get shut down or put in timeout, I want to make sure that I am very careful with how I deal with Facebook. Initially, when you post your ad, it's going to go into review. That's when they put the bot through it to make sure that you're not promising things that you can't uphold. They're going to look at things in your ad. And if you get denied, you have an opportunity typically to go back to Facebook and refute or change your ad. I do recommend that you just start over with a new ad or try to figure out what it was that they saw. They don't often tell you what they saw that they didn't like. They often just tell you, hey, you don't fall within the compliance guidelines and you should probably edit your ad. You can request another review. What is this? Jim, are you answering the folks that are going in there? Because there are people who spend significantly more money than you or I would ever spend on Facebook. And so we're like this person says small fish in Facebook. So we are small fish, but it's just easier sometimes to put up a whole new ad altogether. In Facebook, they have a lot of things that they consider unacceptable products. We can't do illegal things. We can't give misinformation. We can't discourage people from getting the poke. We can't discriminate based on any of the things. We can't use inflammatory content. We can't make a social movement based on what we have. We can't be deceptive in our advertising. So I often put things out there like, you are your own first responder, which is true. You are. If you dial 911, depending on where you live, you can get police to your home in 4 minutes, 4 hours, 4 days. But we want to make sure that we don't have unrealistic outcomes for what Facebook deems acceptable. They have a lot of prohibited things. One of them is dangerous content, and weapons, ammunition, and explosive falls right into that category. On your Facebook page, if you're an FFL, it used to be that you would be able to promote firearms that you had in your store, maybe things that were for sale, et cetera, et cetera. They've really started cranking down on some of us for that. They crank down on my ad occasionally as a trainer because they don't want me selling firearms or the promotion of firearms and ammo. If you dig deep into their promotion guidelines. We don't do that. We're promoting the safe use of firearms. We're promoting the training. And so they have actual guidelines of what our ads can and can't have. And you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. We can promote, and you see that right there at the top, safety courses for firearms training or licenses, as well as books and videos about firearm safety. So we do fall within an approved thing that we can advertise. But again, depending on where you're at in there, we like you today, we don't like you tomorrow. You may find yourself in a pickle. The USCCA has a bunch of great pre-made ads for USCCA instructors. And if you are an official partner, you'll find that at the very bottom in the creative center in your agency portal, you'll find that they have marketing, all kinds of marketing assets. One of them is co-branded organic social media posts, and in there they have different photographs that they've produced that we can customize, we can use for social media advertising. And they give you some do's and don'ts there. They give you the pre-made images. And these are some of the official partner portal things that they have images made for. These are some of the example images that are under concealed carry class. And as you can see, they're easily brought into a Photoshop, or if you provide the USCCA with your logo, they will add them on there for you. We took one and customized it just recently. Up until the USCCA came out with these, we did our own ads. We had in the past had firearms in our ads. We then switched it out to what you'll see later. And it's just basically a business card ad. But we went back and submitted a campaign earlier this week using this particular image from the USCCA. We customized it and we put it up. The USCCA also provides us with some really well thought out verbiage for our ads. They've got it if you're running it on Instagram, whether you're running it on Facebook, whether you're running it on Twitter. Of course, you can switch those words around to suit you. I chose to use their words verbatim, with the exception of the very last portion where it said PM me to register. You can create your own ads if you want. If you do create your own ads, you want to make sure that you're authentic in what you're offering, that you understand your audience, and that you define a particular theme for your ads. You can do a variety of different ads on Facebook. You can do image ads. You can do video ads. You can use carousel ads where you choose a number of different photos and it switches out as people are viewing your ad. And then the collection ads. If you are going to do your own ads, you want to make sure that you follow their design recommendations, their text recommendations, and their technical requirements for posting a Facebook ad. And in order to create a Facebook ad, you'll want to first choose your objective for your ad. You have a couple different objectives. One of them is automated ads. Another one is choosing your goal or boosting existing content. You can choose to get more subscribers, get more website visitors, boost an existing post, boost an event, or promote your page. And there's a couple more down there below as well. If you have an existing event, I have several different existing events. You can choose to do that. I advertise in my Facebook platform all of my upcoming events. And so you could just choose to pick one of your events that is coming up and promote that only. In order to do that, you would just choose it. You would change your description if you wanted to. Sometimes it's just grabbing from your metadata and it can be a little bit redundant. I often do change what my description is and how it shows up in my ad. You'll want to select your audience. I have a bunch of predetermined audiences that I choose based on age, based on radius to my facility, based on what kind of class it is. If it's a CPL renewal class, we do those here in Michigan. If it's a standard CPL class, if it's a add-on class like an advanced pistol, you see that I have people that I choose through marketing, people in my local area, the people who have purchased or have bought my renewal book, things of that nature. Now, if you noticed on this Advantage audience that Facebook has decided to choose for me on this, it is an audience of people from 21 to 65. They are within 30 miles of my location here at Detroit Arms. But look at the people who match interests. I did not choose those. Facebook chose those for me. Why they would think people who are into all of these things would be a great pick for me, I have no idea. So be very careful about the things that Facebook chooses for you. If I were going to run the ad, I would take out all of those. I would take out every single one of those. I might leave in RVs, because people who have an RV tend to want to have a firearm in their RV and understand reciprocity and things like that. But I wouldn't choose any of those. They often add things in there. I'm always surprised at what Facebook uses. The biggest mistake that people make, and this is the one that I see every single day of my life, and if I don't send out 10 messages a day, I'm lying, is this whole thing here where it says automatic placements and that it's recommended. And I'm going to tell you why. Facebook decides that there are people out there who are lookalike people, for people who look like they would be interested in your services. Here's an example of just yesterday, some of the ads that I saw out there on my Facebook feed here in Detroit. And you will see the one on the left here, they're in Kansas, the one up top, and the one at the bottom. None of these CPL instructors are even remotely close to me. They're all hundreds of miles away. When you use that automatic placements, it does not take into account where the ad is going to run, and it will run it all across the nation. And you're going to spend your ad dollars advertising in markets that you don't even service. I see it every day. I see it multiple times a day. It is very hard to fix this once it's done. It's not hard. It's just complicated. And I see people wasting hundreds of dollars a day. You will burn through your advertising budget in the first half of your day and never even hit your target audience. You want to make sure you set an appropriate budget for what you're doing. What is this? You've tried to become an official partner, but they have no reps in your area. That's unfortunate. If that is the thing that stops you from advertising, there's plenty of stock photographs out there that you can use for CPL ads. And if you need some help with maybe sourcing some of those, we can be of assistance. Make sure you set an appropriate budget, and make sure your budget is predicated on what your goal is for how many butts and seats. It will tell you when you're setting your budget what your expected views are on your ad. Me, I typically run $20, $25 a day for my budget. And like I said, it will tell you if I just spent $5 on an ad, if I'm going to hit a potential of 415 to up to 1,000 people. A lot of that is also based on your radius of your ad. And so it just depends on your particular market. When all is said and done, and while the ad is running, Facebook does have a report that you can go to, or Meta, I should say, where you can go into to look at how your ad is delivering. I often have a variety of ads out there just because I want to take a look at which one is most attractive to people and which one is drawing in the most attention. And you can see in your Meta report the campaigns that you have running, how many clicks it received, and things like that. My favorite part of advertising on Facebook is the free advertising that is available to you. And I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but in Facebook, there are groups, Facebook groups. There's public groups, there's private groups, and most of these local groups allow you as a small business to post an ad a minimum of once a week. And for me, this has been a boon for my business because I don't pay anything at all for these ads. If you go into Facebook and you click on the groups tab, you can see the groups that you manage, and I manage a couple different ones. And then you can see the groups that I have. I am a member of over 200 groups here locally. Some of them are in my local town. Some of them are from the county that I'm in. Some of them is 90 Day Fiance, and I don't advertise in that. It's just some of the mindless drivel I watch when I'm not doing this. But there's a multitude of groups available. If you go into groups and you type in the little area, whatever your county is or whatever your city is, you will find the groups that come up and you just join them. Some of them ask you, do you live in whatever county? Are you a resident of? Are you a business that plans to advertise? Just answer their questions honestly and become a member of the groups. So then, as a member of a group, you're able to go in, and this is a local group. This is the group that is the neighborhood that Jim and I happen to live in. And in that group, they have an event section, and you see where I have my ads for every single one of my events here at Detroit Arms showing up in that event section. Most of them have event sections. Even if you join, I don't think you can see it on here, but there are some sale groups. Oh, at the very bottom, you see Macomb County Swappers United. That is a sales group where people post things that they are selling, things that they are swapping, services that they do. You can even advertise in those under the discussion links. You can see that if somebody were to click on the events for Chesterfield Township, which is where we're located, my ads show up. It's really easy. All you have to do is add an event. You can pick the dates, the times, if it's online, if it's in person. I also run regular ads. This is one of the ads that I run. This ad appears in every single group in my probably 50-mile radius of my business. This is completely free for me to run. I put in my upcoming classes, things with regard to my class, a link for them to register, a phone number for them to call me. Here's another class that we offer. This is our 3-hour Michigan concealed pistol renewal course. In the state of Michigan, you're required to do a 3-hour review of training. You're not required to actually take an in-person class, although we do offer them twice a month at Detroit Arms. I also have a video series that I run where people can watch the video of what they need to know. And I run these in not just my local Michigan groups, local to my business groups. I run them in groups all across the state of Michigan, in the UP, places where it would be physically impossible for someone to actually, well, not physically impossible. Somebody wouldn't want to drive 8 hours from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to take a renewal course, but they could view it online. So I advertise all across the state of Michigan for that. This is the ad that we recently posted based on the USCCA verbiage and the photographs that they provided in the partner area. And I have to tell you, I was really cautious about posting this ad. First, because it has a firearm in the ad. And I just felt like, wow, I was opening up Pandora's box with this. Facebook has slapped me so many times they're going to see this and they're going to say no. But they didn't say no, and they let me run it. And in my ad, you see at the lower bottom, it's got that little button that says learn more. And so my husband has a software program that he ran or that he wrote or that he has for people in our industry. And part of that is where we collect information from people who see our ad, and that's the learn more button. When you hit learn more, depending on how you configure your ad, you can choose to send them just to your website for your business. You can choose to send them to the USCCA website where they can see all of your classes and things like that. But for me, I want to capture that information, and I want to make sure I want to know how many times somebody is pressing that button, how many times they're looking at my information. So Jim has configured my button to go to the Cloud Bedrock software that he has available. And when they do that, they get this little pop-up that comes up that they want to request information on upcoming classes. They will fill out their name, they'll fill out their phone number and their email, and they'll hit next, and it goes into my Cloud Bedrock dashboard. These are the people, since I put the ad up, the ad went up, I want to say it was late Wednesday afternoon. Since the ad went up, I had 31 lead inquiries since Wednesday afternoon, and 5 of those inquiries viewed my actual schedule for my upcoming classes. Based on that, I have collected 30, what does that say? 31. I'm sure it's more by now, but since Wednesday, and I took this snapshot probably 2 hours ago, 31 people had interacted with me, and I've collected their name, their phone number, and their email. So I'm able to interact with those people and follow back up with them. I can call the first guy on the list who actually clicked the link and said, hey, hi, it's Doreen from Detroit Arms. I noticed you were interested in our classes. Is there anything I can help you with? It's just an extra means of being able to do customer service follow-up. You can use all kinds of different tools for getting students, gleaning information from students. Does everybody here keep a database of their client information? Everyone that I have on the call? Somewhat. Yeah, I used to somewhat keep a running like manual written list. Did you know that your past customers are your best resource for future classes? And if you've not had a chance to view our Google advertising webinar, you may want to do that. And I can see if Jim can send everyone the link for that. It is important that you keep those people in a database where you can reach out and provide them information for upcoming events that they might want to share with friends and family. If they've already trained with you, it's going to be 6 to 7 times more expensive to get a new client in front of you than it is to get a referral from word of mouth from somebody who's already trained from you. There's plenty of programs out there that you can use to kind of collect information and keep in track in front of your clients. You could get email programs, SMS marketing programs. The app market is just filled with programs that help you build and run your business. You should be aware that not all tools are created equal. And depending on how engaged you want to be with your clients, both past and present, can determine the tools that you should consider offering. Whatever tool you choose, make sure that they reflect you. You don't want to, I work with a lot of real estate agents in addition to instructors as far as marketing. And I see them, a lot of them have joined this thing called Coffee and Contacts. And what it is it's a program for Facebook where they develop the ads for you, and then they push their ads out every week to prospective home buyers. And in our area, you have about as many real estate agents per corner as you have Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aids. I mean, every corner has a real estate agent office, a pharmacy, a gas station, and who knows what else on the third corner or fourth corner. It's a toss up. But it's funny because every couple days you'll see agents from different real estate agencies all posting the very same ad all at the same time and just customizing it with their name and address. That doesn't make you look unique. The Cloud Bedrock app is what I use. It's an app created by my husband, and he has done a number of things for me beyond just providing me a platform for collecting my customers' names, phone numbers, and things like that. It's a streamlined solution for what it is I do for a living. I am the queen of Post-it notes and clipboards and little tiny pieces of paper. And I have also converted a lot of my communication with students to chatting with them in Facebook, chatting with them on Google, chatting with them on other platforms. I have a little chat button on my website. I have a chat button on my shopping cart for where I collect information. And it never fails that I will be someplace, I'm out shopping, whatever. I have a chat interaction with a client, and then I forget what platform I was logged into at the time. And I spend 10 minutes looking for where I was chatting. What he did was he took all of my platforms for chatting and combined them into all one app. I still have chat availability on my Google. I still have chat availability on my Facebook. I have it on my website. I have it every place. I don't have to be logged into those platforms in general to receive a chat. All of it comes right through here on my phone into one area. We know that you're not an internet guru, that you're not a database master or any of that stuff. So we've put all the tools you need together into one mobile app. I have spoken with instructors across the nation who have been convinced by people that they need to do all of this search engine optimization on their webpage. They need to do all these fancy things. And I'm here to tell you that the ability to have all of your customer information with you at all times in your pocket via an app has been a lifesaver for me. I can talk to clients, I can book appointments, I can make and receive calls no matter where I'm at. I've got all of their information with me. All of my communications are streamed to one inbox where I can easily find what they're looking for from me and the communications that I've had. A lot of us are operating our business via a cell phone typically, and it may also be the same cell phone that you're using for your personal phone number. I have a Detroit Arms number. It's, a 586-598-5300. And that's what comes in on my desk phone. But if I'm not at my desk and that phone is forwarded to my cell phone, when I'm returning calls in the past, I was returning phone calls to people from my cell phone number, and people would say, hey, I don't know this number, so I'm not going to pick up. And then I end up having to leave a message, and then I have to wait for a callback. With this app, when I call back from my cell phone, I'm actually calling back from my 586-598-5300. It displays on caller ID that it is, in fact, Detroit Arms calling, and it's made it so much easier to communicate with my clients. That's not to say that I don't give them my personal cell phone, because of course they're welcome to it, but it just makes the whole callback process easier. With our Cloud Bedrock app, we have a thing called Missed Call Text Back. And this service actually, when somebody calls me, and if I'm already on the phone or if for some reason I can't pick up a phone call and they get to my voicemail, even if they don't leave a message, I get their caller ID information sent to my phone immediately, and they get a text that gets sent out to them immediately. And it tells them, hey, sorry, I missed your phone call. I will call you back as soon as possible. Is there anything I can help you with in general? I'm behind the counter a lot at the gun store up the street. Sometimes I can't answer a call right away, but I could text. And so many times people are just calling to say, hey, where's your schedule? Do you still have seats available for this weekend? Things like that. And I'm able to text them right back to let them know what it is they're looking for. I will also call them, of course. What happens with the missed call text back is if they're going down a list of instructors that they found on Google and they're just calling to find out who has room in this Saturday or this Sunday CPL class, instead of them saying, dang it, hanging up, not leaving me a message and calling the next person, they're getting a text back immediately saying, hey, I'll be right with you. And they'll tend to hang out for a second or two while I am able to give them a call back. This missed text back alone, here's what the phone says when they call. 62% of calls to small to medium businesses go unanswered. We can track and record all of those calls. About 85% of people who call a business are not people who are going to call back or leave an message on your message recording. And if you have insufficient staff to answer the phone, which in my case, I am the staff, so I'm the one who's missing the calls. I'm often on the phone already, and so I just can't pick up a call. I might be working with a client out on the range. It could be after hours. You'd be amazed at the number of phone calls that I get at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. If your average cost of a class, which mine is $99, so you've got it at $100 is the average job cost. The number of calls a month, if it's between 20 and 70 calls, I know that I average quite a bit more than that. But just by missing a small percentage of those calls could rack up to tens of thousands of dollars a year. Here's an example of my call connection rate. 98% of the people who dialed my number connected with me. This is off of my Google ad, by the way. 2% of the time it was busy. 27% of the time there was no answer. I don't know what the failed calls are all about, but you can see that I had 43 out of, Jim, was that 100 and how many calls?
157, I think. Yep.
And how was this for 1 month?
Yeah, this was 1 month, like a week or two ago. Yep.
Okay. I had 100 plus calls, 43 of them went unanswered. Why was that? It could have been a number of reasons. It could have been that they called when I wasn't around a phone. I could have been driving. It could have been that I recognized it as a telemusketeer and I just chose not to answer it. Either way, every call that came into my phone was logged. So I had a total of 157 calls. I missed 43% of them. 27% of them were no answer. 2.5% of them was busy. I can't even remember the last time I had a busy tone. So I don't even know where that came from. But based on the metrics, I had 26 calls that I was able to save and book a class with the missed call text back. So that saved me almost $2,600 in the month of the last 30 days. I think we pulled this report a week ago. So it was, I saved $2,600 worth of students who would have otherwise called other places or whatever. We have web chat. So even if you're not available, whether that is on, you're not sitting in front of your website to receive your chat messages, you're not sitting in front of Facebook, all of it comes into your cell phone and you're able to answer it. We have SMS texting, which is two-way short message service texting. Compared to emails, they have a 98% open rate. It's those little texts that you see come up in your messages. I can't tell you how many times I've heard I forgot about my class. So as I'm bringing my students in, I have a little checklist that I check off. And if I see that somebody isn't on their way and they're not there 10 minutes ahead, I can send them an SMS saying, hey, remember, and I can often get them into the classroom in time to save them. For a lot of teachers out there, the classes are a little bit smaller. You might be catering to a class of 6 people, a dozen people. A no call, no show for someone who only has 6 students or 12 students really affects the outcome of what your profitability might be. And so making sure that you get every possible button seat as possible. Reputation management, we covered that in our Google slideshow, and people will choose to pick a service provider based on what they're reading on the internet. I know that not everything on the internet is true, but they will, in fact, if they don't have a personal reference to find for training, they will simply type in firearm training in whatever city it is, and they're going to go based on what your former students have said, whether that's on Facebook, whether that's on Google, whether that's on Yelp. And so the Cloud Bedrock app not only brings all of those in for you, but alerts you when you get a new rating, and it helps you monitor and reply to those ratings. And if you get a negative review, which I did get a negative review earlier this year when the USCCA changed the slides for the concealed carry class, and there was a particular slide in there that was speaking to Sandy Hook and New Orleans when the hurricane came through. And I have a student who believed that that was a political message, especially the message about the incident in New Orleans when the police came through and took away guns and things like that. So they gave me a less than stellar review stating that we put out a really politicized message with regard to that. I was able to refute that, and it didn't end up bothering my overall score, but you are able to receive your reviews and then reply to them right away. Social media posting, that's pretty big for a lot of us. I know that I tend to post on not just Facebook, but I also post on Twitter. I post on Instagram. I post on a couple of other platforms. And what the Cloud Bedrock app has allowed me to do is to create just one ad that I'm going to push out to everybody. I can schedule them. I can do whatever it is that works best for me. And just with the press of a button, those ads auto-magically go out. Customer relationship management, there's a built-in database for you. So you can keep track of all your customers. I not only keep track of customers, but I put notes in all of my customer files. So that way I know if they've happened to tell me when their birthday was or their anniversary, or if they are due for a CPL renewal. All of that is tracked in my CRM program, and I'm able to send out reminder emails and things like that. There's an ad that we do down at the range down the street, the range that we partner with. And on everybody's birthday, we send them out a free hour of range time, and it's been phenomenal for business. We've got custom email templates in there, depending on how in touch you want to be with your students. I used to use MailChimp, and my mailing list got to be about 9,000 people deep. I've been doing this for 15 years. So my list got to be about 9,000 people deep. So my MailChimp account, it's based on how many people that you're emailing every time you push an email out. And I was at over $80 a month just for being able to email students. What we've done is we've made some already customized email templates that go out where you can send emails to your students, reminding them of their upcoming class, thanking them for having attended your class, encouraging them to leave a review for you. I know that the USCCA, if we put our students' name and information in their database in their USCCA portal for instructors, they'll email out looking for a review. But you want to gather your own reviews as well. You want them to show up on your Google My Business page. This was the ad that we do for birthday week. It's easy as drag and drop. There's all kinds of graphics and easy stuff in there that we've done for you. And so now you're thinking, well, first we're talking about Facebook, but now we're talking about this Cloud Bedrock. What does it cost? How quickly can you get started? What if you don't get the results you're looking for? Does everybody here have a website? And does everybody here have a Google My Business ad? Do you have a Google My Business listing on Google? Because a lot of this all works in conjunction with one another, and we're able to work through that with you. Google My Business is huge. They have metrics that show like 80% of people just go to Google looking for what they're looking for. And if you put in firearms training or CPL training here in the metropolitan Detroit area, you're going to get about 8 pages of Google My Business listings for trainers that are here locally. Google My Business is huge. And if anybody wants to reach out and find out how you get that set up, it is going to impact you in ways that you don't even understand. Facebook is awesome too. Facebook is great from the perspective that you also have paid and unpaid ways to get your ads up there. The Cloud Bedrock platform has a structured Facebook ad placement program. And Jim, I don't recall what the name of it is, but literally it's like 3 clicks of a button and your ad gets posted to your defined, measured area of delivery with your defined method of how much you're willing to pay a day. And I literally had like 3 clicks rather than going through the entire Facebook process that sometimes you'd navigate through, and 10 minutes later, you still don't have an ad set up. But I have a bunch of ads pre-configured. I can choose to run an ad, not to run an ad, turn it on, turn it off in a click of a button. I haven't been running Facebook ads because I've got a burn on for Mark Zuckerberg and how many times he shut me off in the past from my Facebook page because of something as silly as a meme that I posted. But I spent my first couple dollars with Facebook, and the fact that in just under 48 hours, I had 31 leads of people who were looking for class where I've collected their name, their phone number, and everything is just awesome for me. We have a couple different programs with the Cloud Bedrock app. It starts at $197 a month. For just the basic package where you get the reputation management tools, the messaging, the web chat, the auto call text back, which is huge, the 2-way SMS messaging. If you're just getting into being an instructor and you need the whole get up, you need all of that. Plus you are looking to set up a web page and maybe do some online training, even for the existing instructors here who've been doing this for a while. I didn't cover it in this show, but I have an online class that I run. I have several actually that I run on a channel that I run through Cloud Bedrock. And it is a pay-per-view channel where people can log in. They can choose to take my renewal class, which is a 3-hour long class. I've broken it up into chapters, and they can choose to sit down and watch it all at one time. They can watch 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, to get to their 3 hours of training. They pay me $37.95 for content that is already recorded and available to them. They can watch it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on any internet connected device. When they log in, they just pick up where they resumed. They can go back, they can go forward, they can skip chapters. It's just like a movie on Netflix. And I get paid $37.95 a person while I sleep. Every day I sell anywhere from 3 to 5 classes at $37.95. And so do that. I recorded it once. I get it all the time. I have other things that I do. I have a court ordered gun safety class that I offer. A lot of times people will be a CPL holder. They'll find themselves on the wrong side of the law. They are mandated by their attorney to take a class on firearm safety, relearn the law with regard to what it means being a CPL holder, et cetera. I offer that as well. I offer basic pistol kind of, hey, this is what a handgun is all about. This is the difference between a semi-automatic and a revolver. These are the differences in ammo. All of the kind of precursor classes that somebody may want to take before considering taking a CPL class. I also have books that I've written where I have a PDF form of a book that emails out to my students, tells them what to expect the day of class, how to appropriately dress for class. A lot of times, especially in the summer here, even though we're shooting at an indoor range, the problem is that we have bulletproof glass on either side of each lane. And if they come to class dressed in a tank top and shorts and flip-flops, a lot of times that hot brass is going to bounce off that bulletproof glass and come back and burn them. I make sure that they're appropriately dressed for class. If they're transporting a firearm, I make sure they're doing so legally. I can't tell you how many times in the past I've had people transporting loaded guns in their glove box of their car because they didn't know any better. I give them all kinds of terminology that we use in the class so that they're not wondering, what does the ACP an acronym mean? What does the tool or drill mean? They're familiar with all of that before we come to class. I share all of this stuff with our Cloud Bedrock family that have logged on. We get you up and running with making sure you have a Google My Business platform page. You have ads that you can run, that you have emails that you can use for messaging and the like. If you do sign up, you get 10% off here in perpetuity, meaning you not only get 10% off for your first month of whatever package you choose to sign up for, but as long as you're a paying client of Cloud Bedrock, you get that same 10% off every month. Some of you need to join us on our Facebook group. It's called Pew Pros. That is where we post information on upcoming training events that we have available. We've had a fantastic pickup on this. We've gone from 0 students to over 100 instructors on there in just about 2 weeks, and a lot of great interaction going on the Pew Pros Facebook page. People asking questions, we answer them, how to get more students, all kinds of great things. And then we also have a YouTube channel also called Pew Pros. That's just our not Cloud Bedrock and not Detroit Arms name for what we have going here. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? I don't know that I told you who I was or what I do, but I've been in the firearms training area here in the metropolitan Detroit area for 15 years now. I was here in the beginning when all I had available to me. Facebook was relatively new. I think I was still on MySpace when this all first started. But I did a lot of guerrilla marketing where I would go hang up flyers, and believe it or not, I still do that. Hang up flyers on any community boards that I could find. I leave behind business cards every place I go. That yellow card that you saw that advertised our class, I leave those on any table I can find where I can leave my business card. I network with a lot of local businesses here. I'm in a local networking group that meets every Friday morning at 7 o'clock at a little local restaurant where we trade leads and stuff like that. But I've been doing this nonstop for 15 years, and it's been what works today might not work next week, might work again a month from now. And it's just following whatever trends are out there. I'm willing to help anybody at any time. If anyone has any questions about what might work best for you or how to get something started, you can always feel free to reach out, send me an email, send me a chat request here on Pew Pros, and we will help you work through whatever questions or issues you might run into. Does anybody have any support questions or how to get started with something? Let's see here. You run your businesses separate. Gotcha. Would you get the 10% off? Jim, do you understand that question? You're doing it part-time. A lot of instructors do it part-time. And that's where the whole missed call text back thing becomes so integral to your business. You are maybe working during the day and can't always grab your phone when it's convenient for people to call you. It's funny because I never realized how many people wanted to use web chat to engage with me. And then it occurred to me that people are back to work. A lot of people work in cube farms where they don't necessarily want to hear their neighbor overhear them talking on a phone saying, yeah, I want to sign up for your next upcoming gun class. And so I spend a great part of my day just fielding text messages from people who find me on Google, who find me on my website, whatever. I get a lot of business because I'm able to interact with people. I'm not chained to my desk so that I can answer Google chats. I'm not chained to my desk so that I can answer Facebook requests because they're all coming across my phone. So if I'm shopping, if I'm out to lunch, if I'm just relaxing, chilling out with my animals, I'm able to answer all of those questions. And if I can get in front of somebody, if I can get somebody either on a phone or in a web chat, I can typically close the sale. And that's something that I was working with a instructor yesterday. Believe it or not, we were exchanging texts yesterday who was having a hard time. He says he gets a lot of activity through the range that he has, but he doesn't get a lot of people actually physically signing up for his classes. And I had to remind him that, hey, you need to ask for that sale. I field phone calls all day long from people looking to know when where my schedule is, when my next class is, do I have availability? I will find that if you just give them what they're asking for, they're going to take that information, they're going to hang up, and they're going to move on. I ask every single person when I have them on the phone, I will say, hey, my next upcoming class is this Sunday. We're running it from 10 to 7. I have seats available. Would you like me to reserve one for you? About 80% of the time, I will get an answer of, yeah, I want to go ahead and reserve the class. If I don't answer that, ask them that question and I don't get an answer right away, the likelihood of that person circling back around is 50-50. So ask for the sale. You constantly have to ask for the sale. Let them know that you're interested in being their training assistant. Let them know that you want their business and ask for the sale. I can sign up people via the phone. I take their name, their phone number, their email address. I can take their credit card information. If they'd prefer not to give that to me, the Cloud Bedrock app has a way that I can send them an invoice that they can pay via credit card online via their phone. They're always welcome to reserve a seat with me, go to my website and reserve a seat and use their debit credit card online. But yeah, I sign up people over the phone all day, every day. A lot of them by text, a lot of them where I've never actually even talked to them on the phone. And it's a great way to do business. Yeah, the missed call part has saved me. Like you saw just last month, I was able to recoup $2,600 worth of what would have been missed phone calls and missed opportunities. That's huge. That's half my rent right there in people that I would have otherwise missed. So for some of us, smaller part-time, just starting out, that's probably every penny that you would make in a month. And so it's a big deal. It is a big deal. Any questions at all? Anything I can help you with? Facebook, though, keep an eye on the things that Facebook does when they auto-populate your ad spend for you. It can really find you advertising hundreds of miles away from home. Like I said, I could probably go onto my Facebook profile right now and in just a couple swipes find an ad for a place teaching CPL classes in Texas as opposed to here in Detroit. And not cool because they're wasting your ad dollars. They don't care. They're getting paid either way. A lot of times, unless somebody comes at you and says, hey, I'm seeing your ad in Detroit, you need to change your ad settings. I had a guy who was advertising. He was out in Maryland advertising the class here in the Detroit market, paused his ad to change his ad settings. And then when he resubmitted, unpaused his ad, they wouldn't let him advertise anymore. So we had to start over and create a whole new ad campaign for him, making sure that his ad wasn't going to be blasted out across the country where it's going to areas that people wouldn't travel to him to take an ad. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Join our Pew Pros on Facebook because we spend a lot of time there helping instructors kind of get on their feet and get running. I have lots of what would be considered white label information that I offer Cloud Bedrock members, people who've signed up to use the Cloud Bedrock platform so that you're not left wondering how to do things. We hold your hand the entire way to get you up and running. Don't trust places like GoDaddy and stuff where they may charge you a couple grand to set up a website. Honestly, we can get you set up on a website with so many features in the inside of just a day or two of working together and get you up and running. Awesome. Join the Pew Pros. If you have any questions with regard to Cloud Bedrock, reach out to us. 586 Jim, what is the phone number? 244-8900.
There you go.
I have so many phone numbers I need to remember. And we'd be happy to help. Thank you all for joining us today. Again, if we can be of assistance, let us know. Happy shopping if that's what you're doing for the rest of the day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Awesome, Timothy. Give us a call.